My husband has really bad lack of hygiene issues and I can't communicate with him about this matter because he gets triggered every time. It's so frustrating because it feels like he doesn't respect me enough to make an effort to smell nice or even look decent for me. Can you believe I don't remember the last time we kissed? It's been months. Literally, I don't remember the last time we intimately hugged. Whenever I try to bring this up to him, he gets really defensive. Perhaps I'm not communicating appropriately for him to listen. I don't know, but I've tried different methods, but to avail. I've wrote to him, expressed to him the importance of hygiene, and I've also, trust me, and I've also told him that how it makes me feel. At times, my frustration gets the better of me, so I become passive aggressive about it, which doesn't help.
Rightfully so.
I can't believe I have to tell a grown man to brush his teeth, take a shower, etc. He works a demanding job, so he smells unpleasant. I stopped telling him to shower, so he would go on days, sometimes a week without it. I don't feel attracted to him anymore. Understandable. And I'm so grateful we don't share a bed. Brackets, I co-sleep with our twins. Everything about him puts me off wanting to be intimate with him.
Our twins.
Sometimes to even just be around him.
You pretend like you smell something, but you don't think it's him. You ask him if he stepped in something. Do you smell that? Did I step in something? I don't know what that is. It's just strange. Then don't say nothing. The next time he ain't gonna stink. Okay, there you go.
How do I tell my fiance that his hygiene is a problem? Hello, Hayes. My fiance doesn't have the best hygiene, and it's negatively impacting our intimacy and our relationship. I love him so much, but it's difficult for me to be affectionate if he hasn't showered or if his breath is bad. His halitosis can be so extreme, and I've asked him to talk to a dentist or a doctor to see if there's anything they can do to help. I always try to communicate this from a loving and supportive place, but he takes it personally, gets upset, and doesn't make changes. How can I approach this in a way that doesn't upset him and will result in long-term improvements to his hygiene practices? Ooh, God, that was a close one. I got it. Before we dive into this problem, and it is a problem, let's just normalize for a second that we all smell sometimes. Doesn't mean you love someone any less if you prefer to be with them when they don't have body odor. I don't like to make out in the morning, like dry kisses only before the teeth have been brushed. That is not what we're talking about in this letter. This is beyond morning breath. Your use of the word halitosis? Halitosis. I didn't know what that meant. It's the clinical term for an oral health problem. This problem is about your fiance's fully developed poor hygiene habits that make you not want to be close to him and that he refuses to address. No matter the topic area, if the person that you're planning to marry has a habit that regularly makes you not want to be affectionate with them, that's something you must address before you get married. Do not make the mistake of assuming the problem will go away once you're married. Marriage is not a band-aid, it's a microscope. This is a super serious thing, and I would position it to him that way. Maybe he hasn't cared about it because he doesn't understand how big of a problem it is. I'd be like, I'm concerned about your hygiene, love. Like, I love you, but when you don't shower and refuse to address the bad breath, it makes me not want to be physically close to you. Can't begin our marriage this way. Why don't you want to go to the doctor? One would assume that because you're getting engaged, you know a lot about him. So I'm wondering if there's any personal backstory about the way he grew up that might make him super sensitive or hesitant to address these hygiene issues. Maybe he didn't have access to showers or oral health care growing up. If he doesn't have access to a doctor now, that's a completely different type of video, but I assume you would have mentioned that to me. If this is related to something in his past, like, you still gotta work through that together because it's presenting a big issue for you now. And ultimately, love, like, people have different hygiene practices. If your fiance reeks, but it doesn't bother you, you want to maintain this relationship, then like that's great. If it does bother you, if it's impacting your ability to be close, like that, you gotta figure that out. You gotta tell him.
How can you tell if a man don't take a bath? When that man take his shoes off and his feet stink, that means he never washed his feet. If you wash your feet all the time and you go one day without washing them, they ain't gonna smell that bad. That man never washed his feet. That's why it smell like that. It smell like funk. A man that don't brush his teeth. If your man don't go in the bathroom and use that toothpaste, he don't care about himself. How you gonna let that man kiss you? It'll have your breath stinking too. A man that don't pick up his drawers. He wants you to pick him up like your mama used to pick him up. If his mama don't tell him, his drawers will be in that floor every day, having the whole room stink. That's how y'all women be catching these diseases, because these men don't clean up their dirt on their body. They let that bacteria grow into a disease, infection, and then you get it. Now you at the health department. And he mad at you, thinking you cheated. No, he ain't take no bath when he needed it. Stay woke. Stay safe out there.
Hey y'all, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I am Jenny. You will be surprised how many men actually does not brush their teeth or wash their ass. Most men, not all,
There's an odor problem, and I don't know how to bring it up.
So his penis stinks?
Yes.
He might have an STD. There's something going on here.
No.
He doesn't clean himself?
Oh God. I would hope so, but he
Wait,
also
what part is
uncircumcised.
what part? Oh,
What did she say?
it's the foreskin. The foreskin.
Oh, so is he circumcised?
He's not cleaning under the
No.
carpet.
Okay, so he has schmegma.
He has smegma, and I don't know how to tell him.
You ever go, hey, your schmegma stinks.
I mean, look,
Hey, what is that? Velvet?
if you
Your
care, if you care about him at all, it's only
What
gonna,
is that?
It's only going to help him. You want to help him, period,
Yo.
whether or not he's with you.
What is that smell? It smells like schmegma. What
I
is
do
that?
want to help him. I just
Velvet?
don't want to be the one to tell him and hurt his feelings. You know.
Well, who else
It's
is
not
going to
gonna be
tell him
easy
if
for
not
him.
you?
You should go.
I know.
You should go.
I need
something,
to.
What is this? Is this me? You should do you first go, is that me?
Because if it was you,
no.
wouldn't you want him to tell you that you smell?
Yes, I would for sure, but I don't know. I just don't want to hurt his ego by saying, you know, your smells.
That's-
Sorry, I
Just,
didn't mean to say
that's
it.
just say,
that's
what
a-
is that? Velvet?
That's a temporary hurt, though. That is something that is like, okay, because it could be a health issue. And
Yeah.
that's something that he needs to know and handle and
Foreskin.
take care of, because that could grow into something worse.
You just say, hey,
Literally
you're
grow.
not circumcised, so I think that that's what you do. You have to do it like, you're not circumcised, and usually, and then, Google something, go, look, there's a thing that they say
Right.
that people who are circumcised get this velvet. What is that? Schmegma.
And maybe you could be like, let's clean it together. And you could pull back the turtleneck and clean under it for him and show him the proper way to do it.
The turtleneck, yeah, tell them to wash the turtleneck.
I can't be the one to clean it.
No.
But
Dip
you
it in
do-
some solution.
You do have to tell him, as somebody that cares about someone, sometimes you have to have those hard
Yeah,
conversations.
you got to do that. You got to do that.
There's a lot of different layers here.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Dad, can I go to my girlfriend's house? We're going to... What? So when was the last time you took a bath? Well, about 4 days ago, Dad. I think about 4 days.
You're getting older now. I smell you from a mile away, son. Okay? But I want you to understand.
on, I've been busy.
Like these little girls and all this stuff. Hygiene. #1 factor, son. You cannot go around these young ladies smelling like this. You understand me? When you bathe, son, let me help you out. You need to lift them things up. You need to scrub. Rinse. Scrub again. Spread them. Spread them. I know it may seem weird, but you need to get up in there, man. You too big to be smelling like that, son. And I love you. Ain't nobody else gonna tell you. She just gonna leave you. And then start telling her friends about it.
He's a 10, but he has poor hygiene.
Zero.
Zero? Damn.
Zero.
Straight to it.
Damn. Zero. You can't be stinking. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Earlier, I was thinking about how when women are describing the qualities they want in a man, they'll be like, this quality, this trait, whatever, good hygiene, etc., etc. Why do we need to specify that? Good hygiene? I've never heard a straight man ever say, like, my ideal qualities in a woman, like, she has to be clean. That's implied. The fact that, like, I've heard that a lot from girls, a man has to be clean, he has to be well kept, take care of himself. That's the bare minimum. They should all be doing that. Some of the horror stories I've heard on this app about people being like, yeah, my ex, we dated for this long, and for that period of time, like, he used a 3-in-1, like, for his whole body and his hair. He didn't own any soap. I saw, like, skid marks in his underwear. Ew. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what? You saw skid marks in his underwear and you stayed with him for that long? That's frankly disgusting. That's revolting to even think about. These are like the same type of guys, and no, it's not all guys, it's not all straight men, but it's usually straight men who are like, oh yeah, like I don't wash my feet because like when I'm in the shower and I'm using soap, like it trickles down to my feet, so it washes them. You walk around every day sweating in your shoes and you don't wash your feet. That's disgusting. If a guy you're talking to is dirty, like you're like, he's not the most hygienic, but like I like him. Girl, Get a grip. That is the reddest flag I've ever seen. He doesn't wipe his butt. He doesn't have any place like being in a relationship if he can't clean his own butt. I know men like this, like in real life. They exist. It's scary. It's a scary world out there. Can't say I've ever been in a relationship with one, but if you have, my prayers go out to you. My point is, men are gross, I think. I guess that's my point. If a man doesn't know proper hygiene, if you have to teach him anything, honestly, but if you have to teach him proper hygiene, get out. Not worth your time. You're a grown woman. Come on. That's all. That's my little spiel of the day.
Guys who don't have good personal hygiene. I can't.
That's like one of my top things.
I cannot.
Because once again, if I'm clean and I'm showing up for you and I'm looking my best every time because I like you and I want to like flex you, and you're showing up raggedy with dirty fingernails and you want to come near me,
not even on some cocky shit though. I'm a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So if I'm taking the time to put together an outfit, do my hair, do my makeup, blah, blah, blah. Not even for you. Not even for me. It's not even for you. It's for me. But you can go out on the street and be like, damn, that's my girl.
That's my bitch.
You know, you wouldn't be embarrassed to be like, yeah, that's my girl.
And I have pride in myself.
My boyfriend. I am done. I am not mad, but I do not trust Gabby anymore. She and Mr. Reusable Toilet Paper can live happily ever after with their stinky babies for all I care. But I am questioning my friendship with Gabby now. I am fine, but I feel like I dodged a bullet. I can go back to eating steaks and chicken without worrying.
Why? And the reality is, my question is, why are you complaining? When you notice that somebody has a pattern, and a pattern is something that's repeated 3 or more times. Once is nothing, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. After going to his house 3 times and noticing that it's messy, after noticing 3 times he has poor hygiene, why did you stay? The thing is, when we stay after we've noticed there's a pattern, we are staying for the pattern. And we cannot complain about the pattern we are choosing to stay with. We cannot complain about the environment we are choosing for ourselves. The people we choose in our lives are a choice of environment. If you do not like the environment that somebody brings, don't choose that person. Don't stay in this relationship. And above all, don't play the hoping game, where you hope this pattern is going to change if you complain enough about it. See, what he's telling himself is, my pattern works. I get to continue my pattern because she stays. There are no consequences to my pattern. Oh sure, we have these discussions every now and then, but I still get the nookie when I want it. I still get her companionship. And every now and then she gets so tired of this pattern that she does something about it. Oh my god, win-win. So ladies, don't stay for the patterns. Leave the patterns and find yourself a man who's got better patterns.
This is the most low-key red flag in men. Take a little sneak peek at their nose. If you see visible hair sticking out of their nose, Habibi, you better cut those nose hairs and cut him out of your life. Hygiene, people. Hygiene.
If your breath smells like your pooperino hole, you need to address this, and quickly. We're talking halitosis, dry mouth, gum disease. All of these types of things cause bad breath. But the question is, what is the root cause? If your breath starts to smell like rotten, dead, putrefactive flesh, here's what may be happening. This is a sign that food is just sitting in your gut and rotting and not digesting properly. Your GI tract is at a point where it's severely overburdened and your eliminative pathways are not open and filtering out these acids from your body. So it starts to ooze out your holes in your skin, like your BO and bad breath and tonsil stones and even odors downstairs. Now I know what you're thinking. How do you address the root cause? It's detoxification for the win. Because detoxification addresses root cause symptoms. This is the only way to properly clean out your body, especially your digestive tract. You're gonna wanna totally change up your diet from your standard American diet and incorporating foods like meat, dairy, grains, starches, and beans, and move over to your real, alive, raw foods like your fruits and vegetables. Once you can guarantee that your eliminative pathways are open and filtering out these acids, then you can take it a step further and dive into things like juice fasting and dry fasting, which is going to expedite the process of detoxification. And you want to be walked through this intricate process, check out my profile or send me a message, and I would love to walk you through your first stages of healing through detoxification and begin to rid these nasty odors that I know are super embarrassing. I got you.
I was actually friend with this guy who he has this big truck, big muscular ego up to the air, you know, up to the sky and everything. This man does not brush his teeth, and I could not believe it. After I found this out, I just could not look at him the same way anymore. I was like, oh my God, he was a white man. Not all white men don't brush their teeth, but this particular one does not brush his teeth. Okay. And I used to work in a doctor's office. You will be so surprised to see how many men, when they get up from the doctor's table, you know how like you put a little white plastic on the table and sit down to get checked by the doctor. You will be surprised at how many men will get up and they will leave skid mark on the table after they get up, which lets me know that majority of these men do not know how to wash their ass. Like, what is going on? Like, how do you not wipe yourself properly enough where when you get up from the table that you've been sitting on for maybe 30 minutes at most, an hour at most, right? You leave skid mark on the table, on the doctor's table. Aren't you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed as a man who claims, you know, you deserve respect and you have all this ego up to the sky and you don't know how to wipe yourself properly? I mean, that's the least you could do is have proper hygiene, because you expect, I know that men are visual creatures, right? So they judge based on how you present yourself to them. They judge women based on their looks and all that stuff, and then everything else comes later. Right? But you do all this and you cannot even do that for yourself, on top of, you know, just being a man who's a provider. A lot of times, none of them are really providers because they don't know how to do that. So the least you could do is actually have good hygiene. But you'll be surprised at how many men actually have really, really poor hygiene. And I have seen it. I have experienced it. I was dating a man who does not brush his tongue. Like, his tongue was so white and I just couldn't do it. Like, it was like for like maybe 3 months we were dating, and the relationship had to end because of that. Because I'm like, ugh. And he loved to drink coffee too. Like, he would drink coffee. His tongue would be white and then turn yellow after he has his coffee in the morning. And he was a smoker. And I was like, oh my God. First of all, I don't like smokers. And then you drink coffee on top of that and you don't even know how to brush your tongue properly. I could not do it. I don't care how much money he had. And he was actually providing for me too. But every time I had to kiss him, I had to put, you know, one of those little mint candy in my mouth to kiss him. And after a while, I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do that. And that's one of my deal breakers. Like, hygiene is one of my deal breakers. And if your mouth, and all I could think about was all the, you know, little green bacteria is just dancing around in his mouth. And I was like, oh, whew, I'm throwing up in my mouth just thinking about it. But anyways, yeah, you'll be surprised. So just be careful out here, because men are dirty. They're dirty in the top mouth. They're dirty at the, you know, down there. It's a lot, because they don't care. They just do not care how they look. They just care about their egos and, you know, what their boys think, basically, you know? So yeah, it's ugh. Just thinking about it makes me want to throw up. But yeah, guys, anyways, I hope to see you in the next video. That's it for me today. I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Did you shower?
Yeah, why? You feel me?
Did you wash your body?
Yes. Why?
Okay, let's see.
No, what are you doing? What? I didn't use that. I didn't use that either. What?
What did you use?
The water.
You didn't use any soap.
I used the water. Why
You need to use soap. How did you wash your ass?
With water.
No soap?
Now listen, I'm going to turn this into a teachable moment because a lot of us forget about the legacy of cleanliness and how that was weaponized against particular people and being inherently dirty. Her caption is, why are men like this? And listen, I know us as men can be some dirty creatures, but at least for black men, we gonna use some soap. You see what I'm saying? Some of us might not wipe it between our butt cheeks and think it's gay, but listen, we gonna use some soap. What I'm getting at is the cultural cleanliness wars and how it spotlights some hypocrisy. You see what I'm saying? This is not directed towards the people that made this video, but speaking to a broader culture. Specifically, I'm getting into the cultural of cleanliness in this country and how different people are seen as being inherently filthy at the expense of other people being seen as inherently clean. But we see that there's a contradiction in the way that different people practice hygiene. We sprinkle some historical context in there just to back that point up. When we think about the legacy of segregated pools, the idea that we were infected and filthy justified them being like, I don't want to swim in the pool with them dirty people over there. That's why this article says there was a racist assumption that black Americans were dirtier than whites and that they were more likely to be infected by communicable diseases. The push for racial segregation and racial exclusion was for white swimmers to avoid being infected by the supposed dirtiness of black Americans. Education is elevation, and if you want to learn more on this subject, you can read about the genealogy of race, purity, and hygiene. In closing, yes, the video is funny, but when it comes to the caption, why men are like this, the creator of this video needs to sprinkle some intersectionality in there because all men don't have the privilege of not being conscious of cleanliness and how they always seen as being inherently filthy and stank.